4 judges, a school of hard knocks, and 5 aspiring entrepreneurs all competing to be the next Tycoon.
Welcome to the next Tycoon. I'm your host, Cliff Oxford.
And I'm Minu Hosseini. Thanks for joining us. Now, on today's show, 5 aspiring entrepreneurs will present their business cases to our team of qualified judges.
Manu, let's look at who these judges are. First, we have Ben Kaczynski, a well-known professor at Emory University. Next, we have Salme Fedor, an attorney and managing partner at Marchman, Casseret & Fedor. Next, we have Laura Cullen, a Wall Street investment banker and also author of Family Inc. And finally, we have Lydia Mondavi. We all recognize the Mondavi name from the wine family, but she's a leader in her own right with 29 Cosmetics.
Now, let me introduce you to our team of Hard Knocks. These judges at any point can cut off a contestant during their presentation, or they can override the judge's ruling. First, we have Gary Kenworthy, owner of Paradise Arabian, and then we have Phoebe Webb, owner of Carla House, an award-winning event venue, and creator of a new show, Savvy Women, that'll air on PBS next year. And last but definitely not least, Larry Cullen, co-author of Family Inc. Let's get started.
Also, Manu, the Hard Knocks judges are like the Supreme Court of entrepreneurs.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
They are the Supreme Court. They can overturn a judge's score.
Absolutely.
Or they can change a presentation and end it.
Yep.
In their quest to become the next Tycoon, Jim and Gary have a strategic advantage. They've done it before. Let's see what they're going to do today.
Thanks, Cliff. When a presenter wants to make a presentation, they haul their laptop to a meeting, and then they start fumbling around with their laptop, trying to make it work with their projector and launch their software. It's complicated, it wastes time, and it gets in front of what the presenter really wants to do. He wants to present. Our new patent-pending product solves this problem. With this, literally all a presenter needs to do is connect it to their projector and then plug in a presentation, and within seconds, their presentation is ready to start.
Jim, let me demonstrate using our engineering prototype. I have up my presentation on this USB memory stick. I simply plug it in. Without me doing anything, the device analyzes the files and automatically starts the presentation.
With this, instead of fumbling around with a laptop and worrying about technology, they can focus on their audience. It's simple, convenient, plug and play.
So first, let's start with the professor. Ben?
I was very impressed, and I want one. As a geek, I represent your first wave of consumers in buying it. I'm more concerned about the pace of the second wave, and I certainly am impressed with your reach into the. But I was impressed. I'll give you an 8.
Okay. Salme?
Ben, I can't even believe it. I agree with you. I think it's fantastic. I really like the idea. I think it's badly needed. I think pricing, though, is going to be key. Doesn't strike me that either of you have much of a financial background, so you may have to work in that area to get some help with your marketing and your financials, but fantastic product.
Your score?
I'd give it a 9.
A 9. Oh, very good.
You've solved my problem now, and I really like it. I like the convenience of the product. I like the multimedia application of it. I think it's terrific. But my one concern is you need at least 6 months to launch. And that's always kind of an optimistic projection. It may be longer, like a year. And I'm afraid that in this market, there might be some competition that comes your way eventually.
Your score?
But I give you an 8.
Oh, very good. Ms. Mondavi.
Gentlemen, thank you for your presentation. I will have to agree that it is a great product idea. I am one of those people that fumbles on laptop presentations and have a really tough time with that. I think that you've got competition maybe right on the cusp, that there are other people probably talking about this now.
Thank you very much, Lydia. Let's go over to Manu with the Hard Knocks table. These are the experts who have built companies from scratch.
I hear some whispers. I hear some whispering, some murmuring. I don't know what's going on. I smell trouble. What do you guys think?
Well, we've been talking, and we think it's a great idea. You know, the professor said it was a great idea, and he talked about the second generation. You know, we're afraid that this device is going to be, zapped by an app. And we're concerned. What do you think, Bibi?
Well, yeah, I just said there's organizations that are more powerful that could maybe come in, and if you could plan and build in the business plan a little bit more case on how to fight that kind of thing, I think an investor might be a little bit more interested. Also, as a woman, I lose little devices. I think you need a little jewelry application too that can, hook on somewhere, an earring, and
maybe
I'll buy it.
Maybe something I can put on my dog.
There you go.
Yeah, hey Gary, are y'all going to change any scores? That's the big.
Yes, we're going to go to a 6 or a 7. We're still arguing
on which one?
We're going to go with 7 with the professors.
Welcome back to the next Tycoon. Our next candidate, David Radabah, with Global Security Engineering, will be showing us how technology can literally change the face of the world. David?
Global Security Engineering produces facial recognition software. It's a very unique product that actually allows us to authenticate a face instead of a card. It has many applications for the security industry as well as in government and private sectors. We have partnerships with Southern Polytechnic University, where we have founded a laboratory called the Facial Recognition Research Center. And at that point, we're able to work with students, understand what the next technologies are, and incorporate them into our future products.
David, what an ambitious project. And I must let the studio audience and the TV audience know that all of our judges have your business plan in detail. And I can't wait till they put it at the airport so that we can make that a little easier. But again, let's go to the judges. They are the rulers. Ben, another topic in your area.
Yes. Thank you, David. That was very interesting. You're dealing with a space that has a lot of competition. Clearly, as you merge the one single factor identification, authentication, I really like the fact that you're dealing with much more than just security identification. You're dealing with convenience as well as control on it. That was an important part, I think, of your commentary and presentation. How much this moves into a software as a service and into the cloud is going to be a part of the race that you have. I give you an 8.
An 8. Very good. Summit.
There's nothing interesting or unique about your product. Your year is too late. It's out there. You just have to leave the country to see it. It's being widely used in England. There are numerous countries that are already using it, and companies in different countries. You are years too late. The cost will actually increase healthcare costs. I really don't see much benefit to your product.
Thank you, Ms. Fedor.
Give it a 5.
A 5. Laura.
Well, I feel just the opposite, and I'll give you the best compliment. I would put money in your business. I love the space. I love technology and security. And you know what? With the government spending as much money as they are now, I think your product would be perfect. And that's where you should target it. I give you a 9.
What? That's okay, we have the hard knocks over here. Manu, let's hold them to a point. Let's go through Ms. Badavi. But great news from the Wall Street investment banker. The lawyer sees it a little differently. Ms. Badavi?
Well, I will have to agree with Salme on this one. I do think it's interesting, though. That's the only point of difference I do have with her. I think it's interesting. I'm a member of ClearPath, so I go through that at the airport and the security with my fingerprint access. So I understand that. The patient identification and the medical records, I think, is a great concept. I think it would take an exuberant amount of money, a huge sales force and sales rep team to really participate in this kind of endeavor.
What would be your score?
My score would be a 5.
A 5. Okay, let's go over to the hard knocks table, Manu.
Now, I have to point out that the person that cried out was actually Laura's husband, Larry.
I mean, I have some problem with the idea of a 9. I mean, certainty is a very big thing today, to know who's in your building or who's walking around. But there are faster, cheaper ways of getting this done. There's palm readers. And my experience with palm readers are that the companies don't want to spend the money to have it. So that's my issue.
You can really hone in more on what is your unique selling proposition. And if it is going to save money for healthcare companies, how exactly? And one big question, what happens if I'm a twin?
Oh, absolutely.
Or what happens if I get a facelift?
No. Well, first off, you obviously wouldn't need that.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, okay.
Buttering up the hard knocks.
Yeah.
So I think
Six is, I mean, it's a good idea. We think it just needs to be revised a little. It's got to be cheaper and faster.
A very ambitious idea. And David, I really want to appreciate you coming on. I think you could literally change the face of the world. Thank you very much.